This right here is the hearth that the pellet stove was sitting on. So it's a ton of brick and a bunch of mortar, and some of that is the plaster from the ceiling. But man, I would have never guessed that there was this much brick and cinder block and all that holding up that pellet stove. So uh, anyway, I'm here at the concrete recycling place, gonna get rid of all this. So this trailer doesn't dump, so this should only take me about an hour, maybe, hopefully, to get all this unloaded. Anyway, happy Sunday. Okay, welcome back. Sorry for the late update. I know I haven't updated in a couple weeks, but been pretty busy, so as you could imagine. So I'm finally just getting around to it. But let's do a quick update. Still making a mess. Still lots of demo going on, as you can see. This weekend, I spent most of the weekend taking out this pellet stove hearth thing. There was a ton of bricks. It filled up my whole trailer with bricks and cinder block and mortar, and so this was a lot of work chipping this out of here. My buddy Sam came over and helped me move the pellet stove, which is really heavy. Just kind of put it in that corner for now, and then he helped me with the last little bit of bricks and cinder block. So thanks a lot, Sam, for coming over and giving me a hand with that. It probably doesn't look like we got much done, but we did. This is like the messiest part of the demo, is tearing out this old lath and plaster ceiling. And you can see there's just like insulation mixed in with wood and plaster, and it's just really dusty and really messy. So, but yeah, we got a ton of the sheetrock off, almost all of it really. We just have kind of a few of these pieces, like these pain in the ass corner pieces, you know, here and there, and this whole thing where it just comes off in little tiny chunks, and it's really annoying. So just a tiny bit more sheetrock to take off. All the ceilings are down. This is all plaster. And these two, like this half of the house is pretty well done. My buddy Gavin came over last weekend, and he really went to town on these two bathrooms over here. He got the rest of the sheetrock taken out, and I think he found like, it'll be hard to see, but it had a layer of sheetrock and then a layer of like wood paneling, and then he found some lath and plaster in the walls here. So he knocked out all this old framing. This ceiling was dropped down a little bit to make room for plumbing, and so he got rid of all that and started cutting this stuff. And so he did a ton of work when he was over here, and so thanks, Gavin, for all your help. As you can see, I did all this yesterday. I got all the lath and plaster and all the insulation taken out of this ceiling. And so, yeah, it's starting to shape up. I got this room cleaned up. This is just a lot of tedious work that's pretty annoying. But this room, same thing. Kind of got all the ceiling taken apart, all the lath and plaster down, and all the old insulation. And there was just a ton of it, really dusty and dirty. So we'll keep going. I'm going to work on getting the rest of the ceilings out throughout the week and getting all this garbage loaded up in the trailer, and probably take it to the dump on Friday. But there's a couple things we discovered in all this. I didn't know originally what they were using this beam for, but come to find out there's some broken trusses. They're not even really trusses, they're just literally pieces of 2x4, and then they've got these kind of supports in here that they're going down to the floor, which is that's fine, but there's really nothing underneath to support it. So that's literally why, hopefully you can see, but this is like really sagging down right there, because they're trying to support the roof on some 2x4s, and it's just not going to be strong enough. So it looks like they had some broken pieces, and they just tried to put a beam in there to kind of like fix it temporarily. And actually, I probably would have done the same thing, because in order to fix it properly, excuse me, you'd have to do exactly what we're doing. I mean, take it down to the studs and really really redo everything. So even though it's not right, I mean, they tried, and it looks like it worked okay, but it's still sagging pretty bad. And they've got some 2x6 scabbed in to the 2x4, and it's just not, since we're in here, we're just gonna take care of all that. So but this room is pretty solid in here. In here it's all 2x4, and this is all gonna go, but yeah, we're still kind of taking everything down and getting rid of all this old insulation and wood and stuff. So but I did come up with a plan for reinforcing all this stuff and making it so we can actually support the roof. I'm going to put a big glulam beam on the top plate starting there, and then run it all the way over to here, which down below, that's that dining room wall down there. And I'll pour a pier underneath this wall, so I can point load that beam right here. And then I'll be able to support the roof, and I'll be able to put 2x6 LVL between the beam and this wall. And so I should only span about 8 feet or so, maybe 10 feet at the most. And 2x6 LVL will be fine at 10-foot span. So that beam will really help reinforce this whole house, because it's going to support the roof, and it'll support this floor and the downstairs ceiling. So I'll put a beam there. I'll put a beam over here somewhere as well. And then this will be a little bit different. I'll have a beam here, but over here I won't need one, because when we reframe in the utility room, it's going to be about 7 feet out. And so I'll just make that a bearing wall as well, and then that'll cover that span. So we got a plan. It's a lot of work, but sometimes the hardest part is figuring out the plan, honestly. I mean, as soon as I kind of figured all that stuff out, I felt quite a bit better, because you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do the work. So anyway, oh, a couple other things I was going to show you. If anybody's really crafty, let me know what you would do with this. We found some like really old molasses beet pulp bags. They're really thick. They were holding in the insulation in the ceiling, but they're in pretty good shape. It'd be kind of fun to do something artsy with that. We also found some newspaper clippings. This is from 1970, December 4th. Kind of cool. This paper's in really good shape. Ooh, look at that. You could get a Pinto for $19.19. Crazy. And we also found, I'll show you, I have to find it, but we also found a bunch of newspapers from 1933, I believe. And one of them is really cool. I'll try to find it and show it to you here. All right, so we found some pretty cool stuff. There's a little advertisement for Lucky Strikes. It's kind of cool. Really old papers. This is the one that I think is really neat. May 17th, 1933. Hitler hails peace plan. And there's a pretty decent picture of Hitler right there too. So kind of cool. Obviously, right before World War II. Nothing to see here, guys. I'm a peaceful person. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, the other thing that we figured out this weekend is where we're going to put the big shop. So you can see that little concrete stake there, and that one way out there. This is going to be, the side is going to be 40 feet deep and 60 feet wide. Maybe you can see that other stake over there. way over there. But anyway, it'll basically be kind of like behind the garage and the house a little bit. This garage will end up coming down someday. Sorry, I know it's really messy. I got a bunch of junk everywhere. I just don't have anywhere to put it yet, but we're eventually going to tear down this single car garage and put like a two car garage that will be kind of a little bit closer to the house, and then a little bit farther forward. So we'll have a little bit more room back here than it appears when the shop's in. So, but yeah. So, I mean, we did all right the last couple of weeks, but this lath and plaster, getting that ceiling out, really is super time consuming. So, but we'll keep hammering away this week. Matt and I are all done with the classes, so back to kind of a normal schedule. So I'll be able to have the evenings freed up so I can get some more stuff done. I did almost fall through the floor in a couple more places. I'm getting pretty anxious to get all this old subfloor out of here. It's pretty dangerous actually, but getting close. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. One other thing we found that I thought was pretty funny is just these bags of insulation up in this ceiling. This is all an addition. I think they did it, probably in the 70s or something, but I don't know if that was just like a miscommunication or something. Some guy's like, hey guys, make sure you put the insulation up in the ceiling. And that's what they did. They definitely got it up there. But kind of funny.